My name is Benjamin, and welcome. We often look at the grand tapestry of human history, at the rise and fall of civilizations, the monumental shifts in power and the echoes of decisions made centuries ago. But have you ever wondered about the hands that wove that tapestry, the often unseen forces guiding the shuttle? Behind every throne, empire or war, there was a family pulling the strings. These families didn't just influence history, they owned it. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the stories of these dynastic titans, to understand their power and the enduring legacy they have imprinted upon our world. What truly constitutes a powerful family? It is far more than mere wealth, though riches are invariably a cornerstone. It is the intricate dance of influence, woven through the corridors of political power, the hallowed halls of finance, and the very fabric of societal norms. It is generational control, a baton passed from parent to child, carrying with it not just assets but strategies, ambitions, and an unyielding determination to shape the world according to their vision. This power is a living entity, adapting, evolving, and often remaining just beyond the glare of public scrutiny, operating with a subtlety that belies its immense strength. In this exploration, we shall delve into the chronicles of families who have, for generations, mastered this art of power. We will journey back to the counting houses of 18th century Europe with the Rothschilds, whose financial acumen redrew the map of nations. We will walk the cobbled streets of Renaissance Florence with the Medicis, patrons of art and puppet masters of popes. We will witness the rise of an industrial behemoth with the Rockefellers in America and journey to the deserts of Arabia to understand the profound global impact of the House of Saud. These are but a few, yet their stories offer a compelling glimpse into the mechanics of enduring influence. Our journey begins in the bustling yet often restrictive Jewish quarter of the 18th century Frankfurt. Here, amidst the clamour of trade, Meyer Amschel Rothschild began trading rare coins and antiques. His vision extended far beyond his small shop. He dreamt of a financial network that could transcend borders. Meyer Amschel's true genius lay in his understanding of familial strength. He sent his 5 sons to key financial centres of Europe, creating a multinational financial institution. This network became their fortress and their engine of growth. Nathan Mayer Rothschild in London played a pivotal role, famously funding Wellington's armies. The Rothschilds' ability to move vast sums of money across warring nations gave them an almost mythical status. They were seen as kingmakers, the silent partners in the grand theatre of European politics. The 19th century saw the Rothschilds reach the apex of their power. However, such conspicuous power inevitably breeds suspicion and myth. The Rothschilds became the subject of countless conspiracy theories, often tinged with anti-Semitism. We now journey south to the sun-drenched hills of Tuscany and the vibrant city-state of Florence during the Renaissance. Here, another family, the Medici, rose from relatively modest merchant beginnings to become the de facto rulers of Florence, patrons of an artistic and intellectual explosion that reshaped Western civilization, and a force that extended its reach into the very heart of the Catholic Church. Their story is one of shrewd ambition, cultural enlightenment, and the masterful use of wealth to secure enduring power. The Medici Bank, established in 1397 by Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici, was the bedrock of their ascendancy. Giovanni was a cautious and astute businessman who understood the power of sound financial management and, crucially, the importance of cultivating relationships with the powerful. He focused the bank's activities on lending and currency exchange, steadily building its capital and reputation. Unlike the more flamboyant nobles, Giovanni maintained a relatively low profile, allowing the family's influence to grow organically without initially provoking widespread opposition. It was Giovanni's son, Cosimo de' Medici, who truly propelled the family to the forefront of Florentine life. Cosimo inherited not only a thriving bank, but also his father's shrewdness, combined with a profound appreciation for arts and learning. He wielded the family's immense wealth with extraordinary skill, using it not just for personal enrichment, but as a tool for political control. Through strategic loans to influential figures and by ensuring his supporters occupied key governmental posts, Cosimo effectively governed Florence from behind the scenes for 3 decades, earning the posthumous title Pater Patriae, father of his country. The Medici Bank became the largest and most respected in Europe, with branches reaching from London to Constantinople. They were bankers to the papacy, a hugely lucrative and influential position that provided them with immense financial leverage and prestige. This close relationship with the church would prove to be a recurring theme in the Medici saga, allowing them to navigate the complex political and religious currents of the time. Their financial network was, in essence, the circulatory system of European commerce and power. But the Medici legacy extends far beyond finance. Cosimo, and later his grandson Lorenzo the Magnificent, were among the greatest art patrons in history. They poured vast sums into commissioning works from artists who are now household names: Brunelleschi, Donatello, Michelangelo, Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci. This was not mere vanity. It was a calculated investment in cultural capital, a way to project Florentine glory and, by extension, Medici power. The art they sponsored defined the Renaissance, transforming Florence into the cultural epicenter of Europe. Lorenzo de' Medici, known as Il Magnifico, embodied the Renaissance ideal of a ruler, a poet, a scholar, a diplomat, and a connoisseur of the arts. During his tenure, Florence reached its cultural zenith. He maintained a delicate balance of power among the Italian states and continued the family's tradition of lavish patronage. His court was a magnet for artists, philosophers, and writers, fostering an environment of extraordinary creativity. However, his focus on culture and diplomacy sometimes came at the expense of the family bank, which saw some decline during his leadership. The Medici's path was not without peril. Chapter 3: The Rockefellers, Forging an American Industrial Empire. From the Renaissance courts of Italy, we now cross the Atlantic to 19th century America, a nation brimming with ambition and raw potential. Here, another dynasty, the Rockefellers, would rise to dominate a new source of global power: oil. John D. Rockefeller built an empire that fueled a new industrial age and left an indelible mark on the world. Born in modest circumstances, he displayed an early aptitude for numbers and a relentless drive for efficiency. In 1870, he co-founded the Standard Oil Company. Rockefeller envisioned order and consolidation in the chaotic oil industry. His goal was to dominate every aspect of the oil business. Standard Oil's growth was meteoric, achieved through astute strategies and controversial tactics. By the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled 90% of oil refining and marketing in the US. This near monopoly brought Rockefeller immense wealth and intense public scrutiny. In 1911, the US Supreme Court ordered Standard Oil's dissolution into 34 companies. Ironically, the breakup increased the Rockefeller family's wealth. Beyond business, Rockefeller embarked on philanthropy, reshaping the family's public image. The Rockefellers began to give away their fortune with systematic efficiency. Chapter 4: The House of Saud: Oil, Religion, and Geopolitical Power. Our final exploration takes us to the vast, arid landscapes of the Arabian Peninsula, the cradle of a family whose influence is linked to immense oil wealth and the guardianship of Islam's holiest sites. The House of Saud wields power across global energy markets and Middle Eastern politics, holding deep religious significance for over 1 billion Muslims worldwide. Their story is one of tribal conquest, strategic alliances, and the stewardship of unimaginable subterranean riches. The origins of the Al Saud family trace back to the 18th century in the Najd region. Muhammad bin Saud formed a crucial pact with the religious reformer Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. This alliance provided the ideological impetus for Saudi expansion. The promise of religious purification and unified rule under the Saud banner became a powerful rallying cry, laying the groundwork for the future kingdom. For over a century, the fortunes of the Al Saud waxed and waned, marked by periods of expansion and retreat in the turbulent tribal politics of Arabia. It was not until the early 20th century, under the leadership of Abdulaziz ibn Saud, that the family's destiny took a decisive turn. A charismatic and formidable warrior statesman, Ibn Saud embarked on a series of conquests, gradually consolidating his control over much of the Arabian Peninsula, culminating in the establishment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 1932. The pivotal moment that would transform Saudi Arabia from a relatively impoverished desert kingdom into a global power player occurred in 1938, the discovery of vast oil reserves. This black gold, lying beneath the sands, would become the lifeblood of the modern industrial world, and the source of the Al Saud's immense wealth and international leverage. The strategic foresight of Ibn Saud in granting concessions to American oil companies like Standard Oil of California, later Chevron, set the stage for a long and complex relationship with the West, particularly the United States. The sheer scale of Saudi Arabia's oil reserves is staggering, consistently ranking it among the world's top producers and exporters. This gives the kingdom, and by extension the House of Saud, enormous influence over global energy prices and supply. Decisions made in Riyadh regarding oil production levels can send ripples or indeed shockwaves through the global economy, impacting industries, inflation rates, and the economic fortunes of nations far and wide. This oil weapon has been a potent tool in their diplomatic arsenal. Beyond oil, the House of Saud derives immense prestige and authority from its role as custodian of the two holy mosques, Mecca and Medina. Millions of Muslims from around the world make the Hajj pilgrimage to these cities each year, a religious duty of profound importance. This custodianship bestows upon the Saudi monarchy a unique religious legitimacy and a significant leadership role within the Islamic world, influencing religious discourse and cultural trends across many Muslim-majority countries. The governance of Saudi Arabia is intrinsically linked to the Al Saud family. The monarchy is absolute, with key government positions, ministerial roles and regional governorships typically held by royal family members. The line of succession, while traditionally passing from brother to brother among the sons of Ibn Saud, has more recently moved to a new generation, but power remains firmly within the family's grasp. This system ensures loyalty and control, but has also faced calls for greater political participation and reform. The wealth generated from oil has funded a dramatic transformation of Saudi society, from infrastructure development and modernization projects to extensive social welfare programs for its citizens. Our journey through the annals of these influential families reveals a fascinating and at times unsettling truth: that the course of human history has often been profoundly shaped by the ambitions, strategies and legacies of a select few lineages. From the financial web of the Rothschilds to the cultural renaissance sparked by the Medicis, from the industrial might of the Rockefellers to the petro-power of the House of Saud, these families have demonstrated an extraordinary capacity to accumulate and wield influence across generations, leaving an indelible mark on our world. Their stories are a testament to the enduring power of vision, strategic acumen, and often an unyielding grip on the levers of control. The mechanisms of their power have varied: banking, patronage, industry, natural resources, religious authority. But the underlying principles often show remarkable similarities: the importance of unity, the strategic placement of family members, the ability to adapt to changing times, and the foresight to invest in future influence, be it through art, philanthropy, or political alliances. These are not merely tales of wealth, they are complex narratives of human endeavor, ambition, and the intricate dance between individual agency and the grand sweep of historical forces. The echoes of their decisions, made decades or even centuries ago, continue to resonate in our economies, our cultures, and our geopolitical landscape. As we reflect on these dynasties, a compelling question arises, one that invites continued curiosity and debate. Which family do you think still secretly controls the world? Comment below. The nature of power is ever evolving, and while some names fade into history, others may continue to operate with a subtlety that belies their true impact. The quest to understand these hidden currents of influence remains as relevant today as it ever was. Thank you for joining me on this exploration.